everybody. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for taking the time to join our webinar. I can see we have around 30 people in the call. So thank you so much for taking the time to join. And I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. So thank you so much for joining. Yeah, so my name is Linda Nganga. I'm going to be the moderator for today. I'm a digital marketing expert, but for this particular webinar, I'm going to be your moderator. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining. We are going to start off, and then as we move along, I hope more people are going to join so that we can all learn. Yeah. So our topic for the day, as you guys have seen on the registration link, is going to be debunking digital marketing in the new digital era. Yeah. So that's what we are going to be doing. But before we can do that, I want to go through a few housekeeping rules. Yeah. So that we have a very good session without so many interruptions. I would encourage all of you to have your mics muted, unless maybe you have something to say, of which I would encourage you to use the Q&A section. Yeah, so you can use the Q&A, or you can use the chat button in case you have a question. And of course, I'm going to give you a chance at the end of the webinar for you may have. Yeah, so it's based where profits have a variety of courses. Yeah, so should you be interested in taking up such a course, maybe you want to upskill, or maybe you want to get into digital marketing, we encourage you to go to their website, and then you're able to register and take up a course. Yeah, so that's ADMI. So in this call, we are going to be having can you guys hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me. Am I clear?
Yes, Linda, I can hear you.
Hi, Linda, you're clear.
Okay, okay, all right, thank you. All right, so what we're going to be doing, we have 3 guests in the webinar who are going to be speaking to us, yeah? So we have Arlene, we have Martin, and we have Nyawira, yeah? So we are going to be having a very engaging conversation with our guests today. And I want you guys to take advantage of this chance. Go to the Q&A section, interact with either of us. Yes, so I'm going to be doing an intro into who they are, so that in case you have been looking, for example, to engage with someone, maybe you have a question to ask, this would be the best time to do that. Yeah, so how we are going to have the webinar is we are going to have the 3 guests speaking to us based on their expertise and the industries that they're in. Yeah, so one of them will have a couple of minutes talk to us, and then in the meantime, while we're in the call, what you can be doing is interacting with them on the Q&A session, so that you ask a question, for example, that is targeted to Martin, or a question that is targeted to Nyawira, and then that way we have we just keep it engaging. Yeah, so guys, let's try to keep it as interactive as possible. Yeah. And with that said, I would like to request our panelists to have their video on so that we can see their beautiful faces. We have 2 ladies and a gentleman. So Martin, Arlene, and Nyawira, you can turn on your video. There you go. All right, so let me start the introduction. I'm going to start with the gentleman in the house. Yeah, so we have Martin Okonji. Yeah, so Martin is the co-founder of Digital Africa, which is a leading digital agency based in Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia, Germany, and Dubai. Yeah, so what Martin does is he started an agency so that he's able to empower businesses in Africa, especially in this digital age. Yeah, so he has expertise in consulting, digital marketing, technology solutions, and basically just helping businesses and clients leverage digital platforms to achieve growth and success. Yes, so that's Martin. So like I said, he's a co-founder of Go Digital Africa. And then we have Arlene. So Arlene is a communication and digital marketing expert with over 7 years experience. Yeah, so Arlene has been classified as a Google certified trainer for Africa, having trained over 3,000 businesses through the Digital Launchpad program. Yeah. With that, she was able to take businesses through the whole digital marketing upskilling. She was able to equip them with the power, the tools that they need to grow their businesses. Yeah. So right now she's serving at Right Level, which is an NGO that basically is based on improving learning for children. Yeah. He's also a lecturer here at ADMI. So that's Arlene, like I said, a digital media and communications practitioner. Then we have Nyawira. Some of you may know Nyawira. So Nyawira is a content creator and an all-round media personality. Yeah. Some of you may know her from her Sunday morning show on KTN or on her YouTube channel that is Misunderstood. Yeah. So she also runs a boutique public relations agency that is Tora Communication. But in general, she's very, I think the words I can use is that she's very outgoing. She's a very good MC. So some of you may have seen her maybe MCing some of the events. Yeah. So those are our panelists. So why I was doing this introduction is so that you guys can know what to expect. Yeah. So you're going to get a lot of information. You're going to get a lot of knowledge. So now that you know the panelists that we have, let's take advantage with the Q&A, start asking questions. Each one of the panelists will have a chance to talk to us, yeah? But before they can get to do that, I encourage you to start interact with them on the Q&A session or on the chat box. All right, so I think we can kick off. We can start with Martin, Martin being the only gentleman in this panelist, yeah? So Martin, we are going to start with you. So you can say hello to the audience. You can also do a quick introduction of what you do. And then, yeah, we can proceed.
Super. Thanks, Linda. So hi, people. My name is Martin Okonji. So I started digital marketing sometime in 2010. That's about 14 years ago. So I'm one of those people who were plucked immediately out of school to do internship at a startup company. And the startup company, fast forward 14 years later, is a company that people know as AutoCheck. When we used to be there before, it was called Checky. Some of you may know it. It was under the umbrella company called One Africa Media. So One Africa Media is a company that, it's an online classifieds company that brings together online classifieds, where you have Checky, that is an online classifieds for cars, provides a platform for people to buy and sell cars. Then you have Brighter Monday. So Brighter Monday, if you're looking for a job, if you're looking to post jobs, you would be going there. And then you have Buy Rent Kenya. So we was one of 5 who were taken from school to do internship. At the time, we didn't know that we were doing digital marketing. At the time, we knew that we were getting a job straight out of campus, although nowadays things have changed. And when we went therein, we were brought into this animal called digital marketing. Over the years, fast forward, I was able to work in some other real estate companies as a digital expert. I was also been able to work as an agent at an agency as a digital marketing expert as well. And then afterwards, then my partner and I decided to form Go Digital Africa in 5 countries now, going on 6. So far, we have employed about 75 young people. We call them Gen Zs. to be able to support us. We are also into upskilling young people in the area of digital marketing and then supporting them to identify best areas of digital marketing to be able to get employment and to be able to make an impact in the field of digital marketing. So that's a bit about myself.
All right. It's very good when you give someone they're able to capture everything they do and they're able okay. I'm told I'm breaking. I'm not sure if you got my question, Martin.
Can you hear me, Linda? I lost you there for a minute. I don't know whether it was my network.
I think it's from my end. It's from my end.
Okay.
Apologies for that.
All right.
All right. So basically what I was saying is I think you got us a little bit into how you got into digital marketing. So my follow-up question would be what as a digital marketer in that aspect, and then having transitioned to becoming now an employer. Yeah. So how has your experience been like?
So my experience has been crazy as a digital marketer. And I would say a lot of it has got to do with, so number one, learnings. So I'd say a lot of learnings, a lot of sacrifice. I remember when we were starting out, one of my line managers then came up with a policy and said that before you all continue with this animal called digital marketing, all of you have to be certified. I think then it was called Google Digital Skills. And nowadays it's called Digital Skills for Africa. It keeps evolving because again, digital marketing for every region is different. So then we did the certification and the pass mark then was about, I think it was 80 or 70. And so I had to redo that exam almost 5 times to be able to get the hang of it. But I think fast forward, I'm grateful that I got a chance to engage in that because then it opened my eyes into the world of digital marketing. And then I was able to see different sectors and different areas of digital marketing to be able to then even offer more value as an expert to businesses.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Martin. My next question to you would be, having started way back, yeah, you've had quite a journey and you have seen how digital marketing has evolved. Yeah. So what would be your advice, for example, to upcoming digital marketers or guys who are looking to get into the digital marketing space as a career more so? What skills and attributes would you say someone needs to thrive in this profession today?
Yeah, it's a good question. So when we talk digital marketing, we talk 6 branches, and I'm going to mention what each branch is. So one is what we refer to as search engine marketing. Then we have social media marketing. We have search engine optimization. We have web development as a service. We have email marketing, and then we also have SMS marketing. So within these 6 branches, sometimes you would find people trying to merge both email and SMS marketing, but ideally the 6 key branches are what then people would refer to as digital marketing. There are common skills that at least someone must have to be able to succeed. And one would be analytical skills. So you really need to be an analyst in the sense that digital marketing is about numbers, and this is good numbers, by the way. So it's not the numbers that we learned in school, where you're being taught what's the probability of someone going to fall and stuff like that. Not really. But this is more to do with numbers that you see and make sense out of as a result of the campaigns that you create. I think you also have to have some really good communication skills. Problem solving skills is also a skill that is really, really key for you as a digital marketing expert, because there's going to be challenges and problems to be solved each and every day. And I say woe unto you if you go to an agency, because within an agency setup, again, it's very, very fast paced, and you're going to be solving problems and doing firefighting left, right, center. So problem solving skills is a really, really key skill to be able to do. In terms of content creation as well, so some writing skills is needed for you to be able to thrive within this space. But I think if you are off of the skills that I have mentioned, if you are an analyst, you should quite survive. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Martin. I think, like I mentioned, ADMI might be a very good start for you to get some of these skills. So if you're looking to get into digital marketing, you've heard from Martin the kind of skills you need. So you can look into ADMI and see how you can take up some of those skills. All right. So Martin, when we're talking about skills and you're talking about digital marketers, how has the demand been like? Yeah. From back then when you're saying you were told that you need to get a certification up to now, how has the demand been like? Now, you speaking now as an employer, maybe, how has the demand been like?
I think we are seeing a growth in the trajectory for demand, and I say growth because I think back then many businesses and people who were doing business were still new to the idea of digital marketing, and this is speaking for most markets within Africa and even Kenya. And when you would go to, I remember when we would go to a car dealer and we would, and you know, the car dealers then are not the car dealers today. So you have the car dealers then were pretty old conservative people, and you'd go tell them, please, I want to take photos of your car. I'm going to place them in my website, and then you're going to get people call you to give you business. And the old man then thought, hey, this guy is probably trying to con me, and he's probably going to sell my cars and come back and steal them. So none of them were interested then. But of course, as time went by, I think there has been a shift, and that shift has been made possible by policies. Some of the policies that we are enjoying today, I think when I think former President Kibaki, or is it Moi, one of them, when they came in, I think they made affordable mobile phones became very, very affordable. Internet penetration, of course, also came in as well. So then now you started to have a lot of connectivity, and that then now had many users using digital as a channel. And I think the fast businesses that then were able to do the marketing. In fact, back then, monetization on the social media platforms was really not as big. So you'd put a post and it would go wild, you know, without necessarily putting some budgets to it. Yeah, so you got many people starting to now to see value off of digital marketing, and it's really, really key because if you take an example, right today, we know that the media houses in this country, majority of them, how they are able to pay their staff is through advertising revenue. You find media houses, I think I was reading the Business Daily some few weeks ago, and I think I also saw it on the news, where they had said Standard newspaper had not paid its staff for more than about 7 months or something. And it's really alarming in the sense that how they're able to pay people is through advertising. Advertising revenue has been split into half. Split into half in the sense that now majority of that is going the digital way. And so it becomes very, very hard in another competitive channel that is competing with the traditional conservative medias, you know, and you're going to see this, I think, even as we move forward to a point that the advertising revenue is going to go down. So either the traditional media houses are going to have to tone down on their salaries because they pay people crazy amounts to do advertising for. Businesses or business owners are now seeing that instead of spending 1 million bob on a 1 minute ad, I can be able to do 500,000 on an ad for 30 days, and I'll still get some returns. Yeah, so the shift, we are seeing it going, and the trajectory keeps increasing. And the way we are looking at it, it's going to increase even more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Martin. So just a quick follow-up on that, because I think you've explained very well, for example, how the demand has been going up for digital marketers, especially again with the involvement of the digital space. Businesses are getting into the digital space. If we were to go, for example, with that trajectory, especially now again with the introduction of AI, new trends coming in, what other roles do you think would be emerging or would turn out to be very quite popular, or someone could look into maybe taking up other skills so that they're not just a digital marketer, so that they could have other advantages when it comes to being a professional in the digital marketing space? Yeah. So basically, what other roles do you think could emerge?
Pretty much, yeah. So I'll give an example. Like today in this country, you approach any other business and tell them, hey, we're an agency, or hey, I am a freelancer or an expert, and I'm trying to offer you the service within the digital marketing space. Most of them have either have one person who is running the social media. Yeah, I think the use of Facebook made it very, very easier for people to know how to create an ad. So you talk to someone today and you ask them, do you do digital marketing? In their head, yeah, I do posting and I do ads. I can be able to boost, you know, they call it boosting. So you're seeing a lot of that, a lot. As a digital marketing expert, in today's world, and specifically in this country, we have very, very few people who are good at search engine marketing. Yeah, so you have a lot of people who know how to run ads on Facebook and Instagram, a lot of people who know how to create posts online and do some design work either with Photoshop or Canva, but very few people are skilled at running search engine ads. So being able to do search engine ads is a really, really key area, because again, search engine ads, the quality therein is also good for businesses. So you want to also make sure you have some good skills there. Having search engine optimization skills, and that is a really, really key area for you as well. In the sense that as a business or as a digital marketing expert, you don't want to always be spending. The goal of every marketer or digital marketer is to reduce spend. That's why you see a lot of digital experts very excited when they're able to get conversions at a lower spend. That's usually the goal. And how can you be able to lower your spend? Using other emerging areas such as search engine optimization, in the sense that then you're able to balance there in between. So that at the end of the day, when you're doing your marketing budget or your marketing plan, you're not spending the same amount of money that you are spending from January to December. In those months where you're going to be toning down on your spend, if you do a nice search engine optimization strategy, then you're going to be staying afloat without necessarily having to spend. So that's an emerging area where we are seeing some some traction in activity. The other area is on the creative side. I think we are way past the days when you just do a nice artwork and post and then expect it to go wild. Right now, the hierarchy of content to reach more people, we are talking live videos, we are talking videos, then there's still, you're talking GIFs, then there's still images. So you want to also be able to understand, okay, if I'm doing a live video, how am I going to do it on the platform? If I'm doing a video, how am I going to do it? What's the strategy behind that? More motion-based type content is likely to take over as we move forward, and also virtual realities. That's also something that is coming up that would change how things are done.
All right, thank you so much, Martin. So there you go, people. You already now know some of the skills that you can take up on. Again, Martin has mentioned search engine marketing, making sure that you are getting your creative juices so that, again, you're not just doing the normal posting that we know. All right. So thank you so much, Martin. I think we'll give you a break to take a sip of coffee or water, and then let's give Arlene a chance, and then we'll come back for the joint discussion. So Arlene, how are you? How are you feeling?
Hi, Linda. I'm very well, thank you. Such a deep dive with Martin there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe we can start from hearing about how you got into digital marketing. So I've known you personally, so I know how your journey has been. It's been quite inspiring. I think when we met, we were just, I think, starting off things in the company that we met. Yeah. So how could you tell us how you got involved into digital marketing, or where you transitioned from, and what attracted you to digital marketing, and how has it been for you?
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Linda. So I'm a typical case of I bounced into this career. Ideally, I should be with Nyawira in a newsroom somewhere. Because I did journalism. But at the time that I was finishing school, there was a lot of political activity going on. It was during the general elections 2017 into 2018, which is when I was finishing my university stuff. Yeah, age is beginning to show right there. But I found that most media houses were not looking to have new people, because what that meant is they have to train you from scratch how to cover political stories and, this important bit of news that is the election. So I got shipped away to a media house in Tanzania, where I did radio for quite a bit. And when I came back, newsrooms were full, man. The people I was in class with had found their spaces in there. And so it was very difficult to get placement for work. So what happened is that I said, I used to write blogs. I don't know where that gift went to, but yeah. Because of that, I had a bit of exposure with the digital marketing space. And so I started applying for roles around that as well, just so I couldn't stay home. And when I got to my first agency, I was so surprised that one of our clients was paying the company in millions to post on social media. I was like, Ayirah, I want this thing. I want to make this kind of money. And so I started a journey of upskilling myself, and what Martin just talked about, the Google Digital Skills for Africa. So I started by learning on that platform, and then I went into practicing, and I did a lot of free work for people because I really wanted to perfect the skill. And I'm just fortunate that I got so many people who wanted to try out this digital marketing thing, and I used them. I used them to perfect what it is that I wanted to do. And then from then, I never found myself in a newsroom again. And digital marketing has been all I have done. It's only just recently that now I pivoted and went back to doing communications, which is what I'm doing now. But if you're doing communications, you also know that digital marketing is a huge part of it. You cannot do one without the other. And so that, I'd say, has been my journey.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Like I said, it's quite inspiring. And you see, especially in the country that we are living in, sometimes we end up not practicing what we studied. Yeah, but at the end of the day, as long as you're good at it and you're working towards even getting better, I think that's what really counts, because you're able to impact businesses and you're able to support clients in the digital marketing space. All right, so thank you
Absolutely.
so much, Arlene, for that. Mine would be someone who in the evolution of digital marketing. Yeah, so what are the key observed industry of addition? You started with blogging, and now you have people paid to communications. What are some of the changes that you have seen, and how has that impacted your experience, or how have you been able to adapt to that?
So to be honest, some of the things I studied when I was upskilling myself in the digital marketing space have changed over time. At the time, I don't think we were very heavy on things like search engine marketing and search engine optimization. These things were there, but they were considered difficult. Many people think about these elements and say, oh, it's so hard to do SEO, it's so hard to do SEM. And so people focus so much on the social media bit and forget all these other elements of digital marketing. So in my experience, what I have been able to pick up over time is to, one, do my best to stay on top of things and to stay on top of the changes that happen from time to time when different things come up. So for example, Martin just talked about things like AI. So ensuring that you stay up to date with what the digital marketing space entails has been very important for me to make sure that I stay relevant with the kind of work I do. Secondly, I've also taken the chance to engage with different aspects of the digital marketing space, so that then I have experience, for example, working with influencers. I have experience working with search engine marketing. I have experience working with social media marketing. I have experience working with email marketing, and being able to test out all these elements of digital marketing and then figuring out what works where. Some things are standard. Uh, and I'm glad that we have Nyawira here. She'll probably talk to us about how she goes about, focusing so much on the digital space and social media in specific. But there are some things that will remain standard. The way you manage your content, the way you plan, the way you come up with strategies that will feed into your bigger objectives or your bigger goals, I believe has been a very important thing to focus on as I check out everything that keeps changing in the field.
All right. Thank you so much. Maybe just a follow-up on that, yeah? And this one, I think, would really help maybe the business owners that we have here in the call. When you talk about diversification, especially of the digital marketing channels available in today's environment, yeah. So, what would you advise a business person who has been exposed to so many digital marketing channels? Yeah, so they hear there's social media,
Yeah.
they hear there's Google Ads, they hear there's SEO, and then they could be wondering, okay, so where do I start from? Which one will give me maybe a very good return on investment? Yeah. So, what would you say to such a person?
So, from experience, I have found that balance is the key. You cannot do one thing. It's a disservice to yourself as a business if you just pick one element of digital marketing and say that that is your do or die. It might be the thing that works, but it's important for you to spread your options and use different channels, because if you don't do that, what it does is that you will create a risk in your business where your business is over reliant on this one strategy or this one platform. And then normally as you keep going, if you guys have heard about, algorithms and things like that, it begins to work against you because you're doing the same thing over and over. But when you switch it up and diversify, it sort of mitigates that risk and reduces the chance of you becoming obsolete. So my answer to that question is to find a perfect balance that allows you to work multiple channels at the same time, and perhaps to just cap that and also say that it's important for businesses to also understand and know their magic so that they can continue to work with that thing that gives them great results, but not neglect other forms because they feel it's not what they want to do with. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Arlene. That was well answered. So there's a question here by Mercy, and I would want you to handle that because, again, you're coming in as a digital marketer and then transitioning into a communications expert. Yes. So Mercy's question is, if you had such a digital marketing career journey, would you start with an agency or an in-house marketing team for a company? So which one and why?
I feel like me answering this question, I might be a bit biased because, as Martin said, agency life is madness. Even if you pay me 1 million, I'm not going to agency again because that agency is just madness upon madness upon madness. But it's also a very good place to learn many things at the same time because you will be given accounts to handle, and these accounts want different things at different times. So it gives you an opportunity to take a stab on different elements of digital marketing and learn how it works because with that, you are not just a media buyer or just a web developer, or, it diversifies what you do. The other thing about also in-house marketing teams is that I also don't like that dynamic because you become everything. So you are the media buyer, you are the content creator, you are sometimes even the influencer because you have to post on your personal channels. You're the one who's encouraging the entire team to repost, reshare. So I don't have one answer for that, but I would say to Mercy that wherever place it is that you find yourself, try and make the most out of that opportunity because they are both very different and they both really stretch you in different ways. So if you are in an agency, you will learn a lot of things so that then if you find yourself in an in-house marketing team, you know how to manage that and you know what is important at what point. So there's no correct answer for that question, I'd say.
All right. Thank you so much, Arlene. I hope, Mercy, you have gotten at least an idea of what you can do. And like Arlene said, a balance is very important. Whether it's you choosing the digital marketing channel that you're going to use for your business, whether it's where to start your digital marketing career, a balance is
Yeah. Sorry, Linda, you're breaking quite a bit.
Right. Right. My apologies for that. There was a plane passing over. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes,
All
Linda.
right. Okay. So I was just saying, Arlene, we're going to give you a very short break so that we can have a chance to speak to Nyawira. So you can sippy a cup of coffee, some water, and then we'll see you in the joint discussion. Nyawira, how are you?
Hi, Linda, and the myriad of Nyawiras I'm seeing on the call. It's like,
yeah, I've seen that.
But good evening to every one of you that's here. Linda, first, thank you so much. I've listened to both Martin and Arlene, and I feel like I've learned so much already. So I feel very privileged to be on this call. So yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And maybe before I can start my first question to you, I want to encourage the attendees that we have. Guys, let's take advantage of this opportunity. Let's engage with the panelists on the Q&A, on the chat, whatever question that you have. Yeah, so we have experts here who are ready to answer, who are ready to speak from their experience. So let's take advantage of that. So, Nyawira, back to you. My first question to you would be, how did you get into influencer marketing? And I know majority of you guys who are who we consider as influencers, you don't really, well, I'm not an influencer, so I'm not speaking for you guys, but from what I've read or from what I've heard, you guys don't really like that term, yeah? So how did you get into this kind of marketing, and what would you say has been your experience, and how different is it, for example, from the traditional marketing? So basically just tell us what is influencer marketing and how did you get into it?
A great question, Linda. First, I think in the hierarchy of influencers in this country, I think I'd be very low on the merit that has been given to what an influencer is. So if I'm not wrong, I would be under the micro category. But how did I get into it? One was you know, the way you find yourself on a journey and you're just in it from nowhere. It's exactly how it happened. So I began creating content with my friend Ben. Then over time that evolved into Misunderstood, that has now grown into our very vibrant community. Now, I consider influence directly to them, the community. And so for me, how I perceive influencer marketing is to a very targeted group, you are relevant. So I'm great at selling. By the way, I'm very good at selling. All these companies need to just find Nyawira and start using her to sell things. However, I'm most influential to people who find either points of relation with myself or there is a unique point of contact. So for me, my biggest way that I would define influencer marketing in my own journey has been the active pursuit of understanding my audience, speaking like them and speaking to them. This is not to say that I have folded my content or made myself subject or slave to them such that they must always be happy by what I put out. Is that I have found a sweet spot where I understand what they like and they also respect what I do. And so we meet halfway. And in that meeting place, products, ideas, services can be converted into either sales or just ownership or reach. Yeah, so that's how I perceive it. So all those technical terms Arlene and Martin were using, I was just here saying, you're not ready for my next time I'm speaking. I'll be using all of them aimlessly, but mine is just as simple as my audience and I have walked this journey for a long time. And in it, I have established trust with them. Therefore, I can either influence their thinking towards something or their thinking away from something. So that's what I perceive as my journey in influencing.
All right, all right. A good point you have raised there. I've never thought influencing as influencing a decision against. Yeah, I think majority of us always think it's for, and not against. So thank you for mentioning that. All right. So how do you see, because from Arlene and Martin, who are in the digital marketing space, so how do you see influencer marketing fitting into digital marketing as a whole, and how can business people tap into that? Or on the other side, where we have professionals in digital market as well, so looking to get into influencer marketing, how do you see the two coming together?
It's a good question. I think Arlene talked about how I think it was in her comparison to agencies, how individuals have owned up the fact that they are the head of marketing, they're the ones creating the content, they're the ones monetizing, they're all in all. I think influencers give organizations and marketing a different edge because influencers give a face to the technical side of promotion that's online. So whereas on digital, we can promote, and with the shame of sounding very bland, Martin, is that we can boost our posts as organizations. But then what happens is that when what an influencer does is that they lend their credibility to what this product is based on their audience first. So I think the biggest question that comes up with that is, can my audience buy this, or are they willing to do it? Only because that should be your primary source of influence. Yes, you may get a few spillovers, but I think it's always to ask yourself, can my audience do this? Now, let me give you a personal example, because one of the things I didn't say, and you didn't say in my bio, is that I speak for a living and I speak a lot. So what happened is that one time, I think a very, very elite brand had approached me to create content for them. Now, I love them. I love them to bits. I love them. I use them. I use them also not as often, but I use them. So what happened was, when they said, we like what you're doing with your audience, come and promote this product, be our influencer, I had to say no, because my audience would be able to see it, but would not be able to buy it. This is not to say my audience are broke or cheap. It's to say that to every influencer, your audience is very similar. So for me, my biggest audience is between the age of 18 and 35. That's where the biggest are. So what happens is that I'd be amiss to tell somebody who is just finishing high school or just starting campus to buy something worth 150,000. So what I do is that you must also be honest as an influencer and be aware that first is your audience, and then to say, now my audience can consume it, I can sell believability, and then now the product can convert. So I think for any organization or anyone here who's a business owner is to always say, influencers are not necessarily equal to numbers, but also very equal to trust. So how relevant are they to their own audience? Now from there, we can say, hiya, this one can speak to 4,000 people and they'll all buy, as opposed to saying she has 1 million followers